Frankly, I have to tell you, we're having a great time here on the Hopeaholics Podcast. It's like a dog. We're doing it and doing it big.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the #1 mental health and addiction podcast, The Hopeaholics. I am your girl, Natalie Eva Marie, and these are my boys.
I'm Chad.
Hi, I'm Shane.
Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow us on our socials and wherever you get your podcasts.
Got a new episode dropping every Monday and Thursday. Please come check it out.
This episode is brought to you by the Infinity Group. You guys, if you or a loved one is suffering, please call us today. The number is right here on the screen. We are here for you 24/7. Now, let's get into the episode.
Jason, welcome to the Hopeaholics Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, bro. Well,
We probably won't edit any of that out because we just don't edit.
No, we're dumbasses. It don't matter.
That's all right with me.
It
He said
matter.
dumbass.
Just let it roll. Just let it roll.
Speak for yourself,
All
everybody.
right, I'm a dumbass. I'm sorry. I'll take it.
I totally get
It
it.
seems a little warm in here. Is it my tan or do you have the heat on?
Why are you
Emily,
looking
why
at
are you
me?
laughing, Emily? Why, Emily? She got
I-
caught her with her mouth full. First of all, she's chewing a candy.
I haven't.
I mean,
touched
it's
the-
actually not hot in here.
Really?
But, I didn't just do 40 push-ups
You're
before
right.
I got on camera.
You're right.
I know when I
Yeah.
walked in, he was all jacked up. He had
Oh,
just,
yeah.
he says he's doing, how many are you doing a day?
Trying to get to 500.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he'll drop down and give him on the hour.
You know what? What time is it right now? So in about
12 minutes.
12 minutes, he's
Yeah.
going to have to
Exit and leave. I'll be come
just do
back.
them right here, bro.
Yeah. Talk about New Year's resolutions on that one. We're rocking and rolling now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do you have any New Year's
I
resolutions?
totally forgot about that. That's a great
Oh
question.
my gosh.
Yeah, I do. Have a great time on this podcast.
Okay.
Right, that was #1, right?
I like
that. Yeah. New Year's resolutions. Drop some LBs this year. I think that's definitely on my radar. And
That's on 70%
Yeah.
of North America's radar, bro.
I think-
right.
I think 90.
Just
Yeah, 90?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, working out, fitness, something.
Yeah.
Right. And
I feel like that's always like
Yeah.
a #1.
What are you going to change this year to get that accomplished? Because I'm sure this isn't the first time you said that. 'Cause
exactly.
It's not the first time I've said it, so I was assuming. So here, sorry, I don't know how we got on this, Beth, and he's smiling because, you know what I mean? I talk.
I forgot all about like New Year's resolutions.
So did I.
So I'm glad that you brought it up.
I didn't even
But
make
it's good
one.
because actionable steps require
Comments to yourself or something like that.
like a plan,
Plan, that's what I meant.
or else nothing's gonna happen. And
Right?
it's just a thought.
Just a thought, dumb thought.
Yeah. I mean, losing weight has been like before I got married, I was always in good shape. I was in the gym 7 days a week. Now we're here like 6 years later.
Yeah.
I tell you, dad
She's a
bods
good
in full
cook.
effect. She doesn't even cook, but no, just kidding. But
I had this friend. He was from India, and he was single, and I used to see him twice a year. And he was slim. He was in good shape. He was walking. He had a swagger to him, I saw him. He got married. I saw him 6 months later. Bro, put on 40 pounds. I said, man, what is your wife? What are you going on? He said, my wife, she's killing me. She was just feeding him, and you should have seen his lunchbox. He had to drag it in.
that's hilarious. Now his lunchbox just has Ozempic
Bro.
inside of it. Yeah.
I think
Just
you know, I think
a little shot.
I think they got divorced. He's skinny again.
Yeah, isn't that how funny how that
Yeah.
works?
He got fat. She divorced him.
Every time after a breakup, I'd always go in the gym.
I mean, I think that's like the #1 way to.
If
it's like the revenge bod.
Yeah.
The thing is you got to watch out though. Like when you're married, if your wife starts hitting the gym and she's not a regular at the gym, and all of a sudden she hits the gym and she's trimming down, and you ain't getting laid right now,
Yeah.
you gotta.
right, Emily?
Yeah. Be like, hey, are you sure you're going? What are you doing after the gym today? Yeah.
You imagine?
Wait, so getting back
Yeah,
because
getting back- sorry, let's
Shane
get us back
derailed
on
us.
track. Sorry.
What are the implementations for this New Year's resolution
Yeah.
for you?
Because we can think things, but actually doing it,
Yeah.
that's the whole battle.
yeah.
Yeah,
right?
that's the battle.
I know. Well, I signed up for a gym,
Okay.
right? That's the
That's
first
the first step.
Yeah. So
Now
actually,
getting there is the second.
yeah, right. So you got to find, because being a dad, having a 20-month-old,
Yeah, that's crazy.
you know, you gotta find
At
the
least you have a job.
right.
I mean, being the father, because the comedian is not really work. Let's face it.
Yeah, yeah. Depends who you ask. You know what I mean?
You're
Dude,
such an ass.
No, I'm
You're
just,
like,
I'm trying to
don't
get smiles
feed
from
him.
the. From
Well,
Yeah, I know. Don't.
we were
That's
just
a peanut gallery.
we were just talking about this because you know
I have a little comedy
Yeah,
in me too, and I'm
no,
just
you
letting
don't.
it go, baby.
Don't.
yeah, it's funny. It's funny because
He
like
doesn't.
people think we at night we go up and we do all this stuff and we're on the
Yeah.
stage, and that day, you know, people think we're just sleeping all day. You know what I
course,
mean?
that's-
Right,
that's
right,
what came to my
right,
vision.
right. We're sleeping.
Peanut butter on your shorts.
Pe-
Just, what is this?
Right, just we're just finding crumbs from last night. Yeah, roll out of bed and we show up on the stage. Yeah,
That's how we think about it.
pretty accurate. No, I'm just kidding. So we no, I think the biggest thing for implementation for me is actually taking, you know, like chunking stuff out. So actually taking actionable steps on what I'm doing, but not going extreme on it. You know, because sometimes we go, oh, I'm going to accomplish all this stuff, and I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to use resolutions. I'm going to, you know, I'm going to tour all over the place. I'm going to make all this stuff happen. But you know, you got to do things in phases. And I think if we try to compartmentalize and just take one step at a time, so baby step it, I think we'll get a lot further along.
agree
So I
with
think
what you're
that's
saying,
kind of
bro.
my
Yeah,
I think that's
good
how I'm
for
going to
you.
try to live this year, and not try to go all in, just
Good for
try to
you.
do the best I can,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, per goal.
Good for you. That's a lifestyle change. That's
Yeah.
you know, small little things like instead of parking right next to the door, you park 60 feet away. And
Right.
You walk that 60 feet. Those are small things, but those are lifestyle changes.
Yeah, lifestyle changes.
You
Yeah,
know.
That's always kind of been a thing of mine. Though, like I'll drive by to see if there's a close spot, and I'll park in the close spot if it's available. But if there's not a close spot, I don't like sit around and like circle around until I find the close spot. I just go park somewhere
Yeah.
far away.
Yeah.
And I always say to myself or to my wife or to whoever, I said, we can park out here because we're not fat.
yeah. Usually my steps consider, you know, getting from the sofa to the fridge and then upstairs to the bed. You know, but I'm getting my steps in. It's
getting
not
your
very
steps
far. You know, that's the so we're going distance in 2025.
We're going
There you go.
distance.
Yeah.
10,000 steps.
When did you
When did you think you were funny?
that's kind of my question. That was kind of it.
Yeah.
I could tell, bro. I'm a mind reader.
You're not a very
I'm on this Super B stuff that what's his name?
Stop taking.
Yeah.
All right.
Fucking annoying.
See,
Joe
there's a
Rogan said it's great stuff, man. He said it's great stuff. Took too many though.
Yeah. I you know, there's a whole thing about you know, a lot of people's family tells them that they're funny growing up, and then you get on the stage and you're like, my family was not right. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But so I think being a comedian doesn't just come just like you wake up one day and you decide I'm going to be a comedian. I think you got to go through some real shit in life to like and have some scars behind you to actually be able to get up on stage and bring that to life. And you know, I think so. It wasn't about just being funny for me. It was like, okay, how can I take my life experiences and things I've been through, and get people to laugh, but to learn at the same time. You know, so that's kind of what I try to focus on when I'm on stage.
Well, it's amazing. So that just takes me into share one of those scars. Let's go back and see. You know what I'm saying? Childhood or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's you know.
Yeah, sure. I mean, from one of the big things that got me into comedy, you know, growing up, I had a good childhood. My parents, you know, divorced at a young age and all that stuff. But you know, as you get older, things start happening to you, you know, and you get more life experience. And then I think what really pushed me to get in comedy is I always dabble with it, but really to go all in. You know, my wife has some deals with her own mental health. She suffers from bipolar disorder and obsessive compulsive disorder, and I was doing everything I could to be there for her and you know, be the best husband I could, but I wasn't able to really take care of myself in the way I wanted to, and I needed a release. And I think that getting into comedy years ago was a way to get me to entertain, but to give me a release. And it's not like therapy necessarily, but it's a way that I was able to like find myself again. And it gave me, and never did I ever imagine it would go in the journey that it's gone for me in a million years. But you know, I think through things that you experience in life, being able to talk about it, not in a way where you're going to make anybody feel bad, but in a way where you can shed a light in a funny way to talk about it. Someone's going to be like, oh, I deal with that in my life. I've experienced this in my life.
No, I get what you're saying. Now, when you say release, for me right away, I think alcohol, drugs sometimes. Right?
I'm glad that that's what you thought, because usually it would have been something even
Sexual?
Yeah.
Well, I thought that second. Well, let's back up again. It was the first thought.
First thought, and then you.
I knew it was bad, so I put it to the second spot.
Nice.
I didn't say it
Thank
until
you.
you brought it up. And then, but yeah, we could focus on that one.
I feel like your comedy, though, from what you're saying, it is kind of a form of therapy that you
Yeah.
found. Because in comedy, and correct me if I'm wrong, because obviously I'm not a comedian, so I don't know everyone's like how they prepare their sets and everything. However, I do know that you guys, you have to you write a lot to prepare, or you're having to do some sort of, there's a lot of thinking that is required. So you're basically drawing on whether it's a previous traumatic experience to bring it to light, to be able to make the set or to make the bit, or something funny, or something from your childhood, or something that has happened currently or from the past. So I feel like in a way it is therapeutic, because you're having to bring forth something to your now and assessing it, and then having to then deliver that in a fashion where it's not going to make you bawl on stage and cry, and then making light of it. So it's like a weird therapeutic kind of way to sort certain things out. I don't know.
Yeah, I really just didn't want to pay the copay.
There you
when I saw
go.
the therapist.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just go on stage
Yeah.
and do it.
Yeah.
No, but you're right. There's so much goes into it, and it's all about how you weave in your topics and how you can tag stuff and make callbacks when you're on set, and you have sometimes 20 minutes on stage to leave that memorable impression that someone's gonna be like, oh, I always think, like, if they're watching me, like I want them to think, you know what, I related to that guy, but somebody else will want to have a beer with one day. You know what I mean? And I know I did good, and obviously laughter helps, and you get the reactions. But and also for me, like, to go back to what you were saying, also I did a lot of impressions growing up for my family. It was something that I always wanted. I always wanted to be an impressionist. I always felt like that was like one of my callings, and I just never knew how to channel it. I was just like, for me, it always started out because I at the synagogue where we would go to, I'd always do imitations of the rabbi for my family.
Yeah.
And one day I'll never forget, my aunt told me that she told the rabbi at the synagogue that I do impression of him. And one day he went up.
He called you out.
One day he went up to me, and I'll never forget. I was at the gas station, and he pulls in, and he's this big burly Israeli guy. And I'm pumping the gas, and he goes, Jason, how are you? I'm like, oh, how are you? and he's like, do me. I'm like, do you? Right here at the gas station? That's a little awkward right now. But and then I did my impression of him, and he was laughing the whole time, and it was hilarious. So I was like, wow, if I can get the rabbi, whatever, to laugh at that synagogue, maybe I can channel this
Maybe you
stuff
got
to
something.
people.
Yeah, it's not easy, man.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Getting
Like,
up there,
heck
nerve-wracking. One person throws you off, and all of a sudden you start to get that little bead of sweat on your face. Oh, fuck, here we go.
There's no way that anybody has never bombed, Like, I'm assuming you have had to just eat
Crawl
shit
off.
by getting up there. I mean, I feel like that's just part of the nature of the
has to
business,
be.
right?
Anybody who tells you that they've never ate shit up there is
lying, right?
Is just lying.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, how do you sleep that night?
Not well.
It's hard.
It's hard.
I've bombed just a regular talk
Yeah.
before, and that's
Bro, when you
it's
bombed,
like,
I couldn't sleep. Forget about it. I was there, man. I couldn't.
When,
sleep
how
for
old
2
were you
days.
when you first got up on stage?
The first time I ever got on stage, I was 23. I was living in New York City. I was a manager at the W Hotel at that time.
Oh, it's a good hotel.
At the time, 50th and Lex. I'll never forget. Yeah, and I knew nothing about comedy, and I knew that all I knew was I saw an ad at the Stand Up New York Comedy Club. If you get 10 people out, we'll give you stage time. And I told the manager, she's just like, you got to stay back. I was like, I got all these people coming, I got to go. So I left my shift early to let me go. I showed up thinking I'm just gonna kill this thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And And I did. I crushed the set, and no, I'm just kidding. I bombed. I bombed terrible. You know what I mean? And I had no idea what I was talking about. And then I didn't go back and do comedy. I was like so like defeated. I was like, oh, I'll never. And it wasn't until years later where I had this. I kept having this voice over the years, like, no, trust me, this is something you're meant to do. You got to do this. And it wouldn't go away, you know what I mean? And you can keep suppressing like that inner voice, but eventually you're gonna act on it. And if you don't, you're gonna have regrets. And I didn't want to have any regrets in my life. And so I took this a comedy course, and that changed my whole life. Wow. I learned the writing of comedy, and I didn't realize, but all these other comedians that you would have never even thought of were in this course, and I thought, like, how am I writing with these people right now? Like, this is crazy. But I learned so much, and it opened a lot of doors for me just from that one course. And then once you kind of do it, you do well, and you learn the structure, it's kind of like it's like, wow. And then it's eye opening. It can starts to become like a euphoric drug for you. It's like I always say comedy is like the best drug I've ever taken.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like it. There's nothing like being in front of a live audience, and nothing like New Year's Eve I did 2 shows, back-to-back shows at Levity Live in Oxnard, and we're doing like around 500 people a show.
Oh, wow.
And it was just a sea of people. So. Yeah, it was all manifesting. I was always like, when I was younger, one day I want to do Levity Live.
For you.
You know what I mean? And then New Year's Eve, I got to close out the year doing this. So that was just an honor for me.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was very blessed.
So you said comedy was the best drug that you ever took. It. What was the second best?
Cocaine. I tell you, I did cocaine once. It put me in the hospital.
Oh,
so,
shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I never did it again.
No way.
I don't know. Yeah. So maybe it was my Jewish anxiety kicking in at the same time. It was a combination. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a thing.
Or you had some.
That's a real thing, because he has it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the Jewish anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah. It came out of the womb with it. Nothing I could do.
Nothing you could do.
Yeah. People always say, I have a joke. I always say, people think that growing up is dangerous with all the gangs and carjackings. I think if you think that's scary, try growing up with a neurotic Jewish mother.
I've met Shane's
Oh yeah.
many times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my mom's a real character. God bless her. But she's a good woman. She'll drive you nuts. Yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have a younger brother and younger sister.
Okay.
Yeah, and funny enough, I have 2 stepbrothers. My brother and I are Jason and Andrew. I also have stepbrothers named Jason and Andrew. So
what?
That was a little confusing growing up. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's super bizarre.
Yeah. They started calling us Jason 1 and Jason 2.
For sure.
Yeah. And then years later, I found out I was Jason 2. I was like, I really appreciate that, guys. Yeah. Tell me how you really feel. So, yeah, but I was, it was, you had stepbrothers growing up, and I have a half sister. She's my sister to me, but my parents got remarried. But I'm lucky I have 2 really great step parents and who've been in my life since I was like, 4 or 5 years old.
Oh wow!
So I really don't know anything different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild. How long are your sets, or are they a variety?
Comedy's an interesting thing. Some nights it depends. Like when I'm on the road and I'm touring, my sets are going to, 35 minutes, 35 minutes generally. When you're in LA and you're doing a bunch of shows, some nights, you're doing 7-minute sets, just going up because there's so many comics going up in some of these showcase shows but it really just depends. I mean, I think the goal of a comedian should not be to stay in your bubble and just perform in New York or Los Angeles.
Sure.
The goal should be you should be on the road, and that's the ultimate goal. That's how you make a living. That's how
That's basically how you make money, right? Is by going on tour.
Yeah, you're not going to make money performing in Los Angeles or
Yeah.
New York. You're going to make money touring.
Yeah.
And doing the clubs, and that's how you build your fan base too.
Yeah.
And so anybody starting out, I always say, like, do your thing, hone your craft, do it in Los Angeles, do it in New York, do it anywhere really, but become the best you can be, and then but if you ever want to like truly build up your base, you've got to take chances. You got to get yourself out there, because no one's going to just ask you to come out and
Sure.
tour. You got to create your own destiny.
Yeah, that is very true.
We have what do we do for some Friday nights? We have people get together, and what do we?
What do you mean?
Friday Night Loud, Friday Night Lights.
Recover
Out loud on once a month.
Yeah, once a month on Friday.
Maybe we hook up some comedians on one Friday night.
Yeah, we could do that.
You know what I'm saying? Like get 2 or 3 comedians, get them together.
Yeah, like pre-show for before the
Yeah,
speaker.
yeah.
Instead of
idea.
instead of music.
Instead of music, we get like
That'd be funny.
between 200 and 500 people down here.
Oh yeah, I can bring them out for you.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I got one sitting in the back
Yeah.
right there.
Do,
Yeah.
do, do, do you feel a sense of nervousness still before you go up on stage?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It doesn't go away that
No.
motherfucker.
No,
I think anybody-
it shouldn't go away.
I'm just saying, it'd be nice if it could change.
no.
Yeah, that's called Xanax.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And we can't go up on stage
Thank
on
you.
Xanax because it's not gonna go well
No,
when we're talking about sobriety.
Yeah.
yeah. And I can't take a Xanax 'cause I'll fall asleep on
Yeah.
stage. Yeah. I'll feel great though.
Yeah.
But yeah, anybody who tells you they don't get nervous also is probably a sociopath on stage.
I agree.
That's funny.
I also heard or saw I think I saw somewhere that you can do a Donald Trump impersonation.
I've been told I can do it from time to time. I'm careful where I do my Trump.
love
though.
Donald.
I'm comfortable.
No.
Oh, you can do it.
I'm in Orange
here.
County, so I know I'm a good hand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're good.
Yeah, but I've done it in some towns and feel like, oh, I love the Trump, but I can't tell you how much I hated hearing his voice. And I'm like, it's just an impression. I'm not Donald Trump. I'm not Donald Trump.
Right.
I'm Jason Schuster.
Somebody literally hates you because they're like, "Oh God, the voice."
Yeah. They're like I didn't run for president. Yeah. Also wasn't shot. I can show you. Yeah. So I do a lot of Trump. Frankly, I have to tell you, we're having a great time here on the Hopeaholics Podcast. It's like a dog. We're doing it big time with Natalie, Eva, Marie, Shane, Chad. They're great guys, frankly, I have to tell you. And no drugs before this because I only eat my steak well done. And if I ate drugs, I wouldn't realize it was delicious. Yeah.
We love Trump.
It's a huge deal.
Got to do the dance
He's
too.
our
I only
guy.
came here, frankly, because we are in Orange County, a great place who appreciates me, not like Los Angeles, where they try to throw darts at me.
He's a great guy.
Great guy.
Good for you. Good
you.
for you.
Do you do it on stage as well? Like, will you do it?
Oh yeah,
I
I did it. I did. What did I do the bit the other night where I talked about? I did 2 bits. I did how Trump how Melania is not moving into the White House, so because she's been having an affair with Bill Clinton, but Trump doesn't care because he's bringing Tulsi Gabbard and Linda McMahon to the White House, and we're gonna have tag team matches all night long. And then I also did a bit where we're to get back at Jimmy Kimmel because Kimmel talks so much crap about Trump every night.
This
Oh, I
fucking
know.
guy. What's
he's-
his problem? I used to like Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, he's decided that he's going to deport Guillermo, and he's taking Kimmel off ABC and putting him on Telemundo.
He should be. There you go.
Yeah, so I did. And when Oxnard loves that stuff,
Natalie knows both of the both Linda and
Oh yeah,
Tulsi.
Linda and Tulsi. Yep.
yeah, I'm sure you do. Yeah,
Love both those ladies.
yeah, yeah. They're awesome. Yeah.
That's so funny. You gotta. I mean, maybe we should put that bit on, and then when it's done, you can shoot it over to Tulsi.
Oh yeah.
I'll give Tulsi a shout out.
Yeah.
Tulsi Gabbard, frankly, you're going to be great. You're going to do it big, like the biggest I've ever seen.
Oh my God. What does your wife think of you being a comedian? Were you a comedian prior to you guys getting married?
I was I did a lot of improv stuff, but when I was in the Groundlings and different things like that, I would train with that, but not like stand up. just more of like dabble in it. I didn't go all in. I went all in when we were married. And that was a whole shift for her. Yeah.
So you basically were like doing your improv, but you had like another job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now you're just solely all in with comedy.
Yeah. Now I'm
Okay.
all in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a
for
big.
you.
Yeah,
that was
that's
a
hard.
big. That was a big shift
For sure.
And God bless her. Yeah. But
For sure.
Yeah. So it wasn't. It was like. But it wasn't like I would always like plant the seeds.
Yeah, of course.
Because like we would go to comedy shows. It was like I was always like, I know this is gonna. I know one day I'm gonna do this. And then so we would go to comedy shows and I'd be like, what do you think would be like dating a comedian? Do you think that would work out? She's like, no, I could never do that. And I was like, oh wow, this is gonna be a long planting of seeds.
Yeah.
So I just kept sprinkling it around. And then one day I was like, I think I'm gonna take this comedy class here. You know what I mean? And she's like, yeah, you think? She's like, go for it, And so I did it, and then I never stopped. And then, but I didn't know it was all going to turn into this. It was just like a whole thing.
Yeah.
It was just, I mean, yeah. So she's been cool with it, and she's really come around because like now she's like, oh, this is real. Like,
right.
Like you're getting paid. And
Yeah.
doing this. And then we have a kid. So that changes the whole thing, and that's also where we had to move. We went back to Baltimore because we needed a lot more family help.
Yeah,
Sure.
100%.
I was like, I wasn't planning on leaving, but we have, Jewish grandmothers.
Yes.
They're very hands on.
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
They're the
So
best.
yeah. So we have a lot of help. It actually helps me now because I'm able to get back on the road a lot
Sure.
more. And
Hell, you can bring your wife on the road now. The kid's fine.
Yeah,
with
I
her
know.
parents.
Yeah. Well, she's from here, so
They don't need you.
yeah. My kid's getting a job next week. Yeah.
Well, more than likely.
Yeah. Inflation's crazy,
That's what
man.
I'm saying.
Yeah. I was in Vegas last week. I saw a pimp driving a smart car. It was nuts. Yeah. So yeah. Things are getting nuts.
Things are nuts.
Yeah.
But I think that's like, good for you for listening to the voice and not shushing it and going for it, because I think that is super important.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us that have those little voices that we just pretend that we either don't hear or don't listen to.
For sure.
Because
Or too scared or whatever.
Because it's scary because you're not making money when you're first starting.
No.
Usually at anything.
Right.
So to like kind of step out there and give it a whirl, and then to have your partner be super supportive. I mean, I'm sure you guys went through, some time of adjustment there because, you need money to live. So when you're not making any, it causes some little,
Grief.
Yeah.
it causes a little
100%.
difficulty.
For sure. For sure. Yeah.
But
I'm sure you can relate to that too.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up in wrestling
Sure.
and all that stuff. And no one just.
Flying coach,
Yeah.
yeah,
renting beaters,
yep,
standing the Red Roof Inn.
that's right.
Yep.
Got it.
Just whatever you got to
Yeah,
do.
whatever you gotta do.
Whatever you got to do.
Because they don't give you a very big contract when you go.
No, right? Yeah. Really.
No.
Yeah.
You're getting like bare minimum when you first sign.
Bare minimum. Prove yourself. That's
All
how.
things, yeah.
Yeah. And comedy's even crazier because it's just, you're the entertainer, you're the
Totally.
director, you're the whole show.
You have everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah. Right. Now these guys are getting like guarantees and everything.
Well, I feel like that what probably changed the game for comedy too is social media, because I feel like a lot of guys that kind of came up quick too use like their YouTube or social media platform to do their comedy, and then all of a sudden now they're touring or whatever, where it's a little bit different, starting from doing improv or having to go and even get a spot to do like an open mic night or something like that, and kind of like really crawl your way, because I've heard stories of just like nightmarish backstage of things that kind of went down for guys. It's kind of like, I don't know, I kind of feel like it's with any kind of not all, but it's like, it's a dog world.
Well, here's the thing.
It's
Even to
competitive.
get to his level, if you have 100 comedians to get to his level, 5 of them are getting to his level. One of them is getting to that Maniscalco guy level. I mean, you don't get on the road that Maniscalco, the Italian guy.
That dude's funny.
He is funny.
He's married to a Jewish lady.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
But you don't get on the road Shit like that doesn't happen. You got to work like a fucking dog.
Yeah.
You got to work like a dog.
You got to work like a
Yeah.
fucking dog. People think, oh, he's got the glamorous life. He's on there.
You mean people don't just become Kevin Hart overnight?
Fuck no.
Or who's the best who do
Unless
you
you're
think?
blowing the rock. I mean, maybe.
Who do you think?
I'm just saying,
who's your
Kevin
number?
Hart, The
Who's
Rock,
your
you
number
know what I'm
one?
saying?
I mean,
All right,
hey, you
forget
know,
about it.
Who's your number one?
The Rock's like, you smell what I'm cooking?
There you go. Finally, someone said something.
Yeah. Who's my
Yeah.
Number one comedian.
funny enough, the guy I got the feature for at Levity Live is my favorite comedian, Phil Medina. Is one of my and he's one of my favorite comedians, and he's also somebody who's been also a mentor to me. He's,
Nice.
and
Oh, that's
he's
cool.
Given me a lot of opportunities.
Good for you.
So I'm very. And it's awesome to you always look up, say, oh, who am I going to perform with, like somebody I look up to? And
Yeah.
they're going to be cool, and like I'm fortunate that somebody I looked up to became my mentor, and he's given me so many opportunities, and is also like an awesome person too. So
Wow.
really
Oh,
blessed.
yeah.
it
You
doesn't
need
always work
someone
out.
to throw you the bones every now and then.
Oh, for
you need
sure.
a mentor. You need someone opening those doors in anything, especially entertainment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a lonely world too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot
Not
of
if you like hookers.
listen. It depends where the hooker is.
Just saying.
Vegas hookers and Baltimore hookers are very different.
Right? They're only hooks.
Yeah,
In Baltimore,
right.
they goes hooks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you real?
Yeah, they don't even want you to
They
test
got some bad areas in Baltimore, bro. You can't even drive in and drive out.
You can, but you just gotta have a bulletproof vest.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, Baltimore is a tough motherfucking hood.
Yeah. I think isn't that where the TV show The Wire?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
That's all about Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all about
Baltimore's got some
Baltimore.
crazy.
Actually, Baltimore, as we call it.
You walk in, you need a gun, or you don't. I mean, they don't know you. You're shot.
Even if you have a gun,
You're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people think that people are like, oh man, how'd you survive that? I'm like, dude, I did not grow up slinging crack by the flashing blue lights.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right. There's Baltimore City. There's also Maryland. That's a place too.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I've there's like my wife when she first came to Baltimore. She's like, where you live is where your family lives is nice. I was like, let me show you a little different part. I drove her into the city.
Yeah.
And I showed her the real downtown
whacked
Baltimore.
out.
It's nuts, man.
It's
you know?
nuts.
Yeah, I think Trump called it a rat-infested shithole.
Yeah.
But he's right. But I love Baltimore though. It's got it. We don't call it Charm City for nothing.
Right.
Yeah. There's some charm there. And we got really good seafood and crab cakes. I don't know if you guys ever had good Maryland crab cakes.
No, I never been to Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
Don't plan on visiting.
You've never
Yeah.
have you been to Maryland?
No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, then okay, I have nothing to say to you then. Conversation's over.
It's over.
But you guys live there now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You met your wife in LA?
Yeah. She's
Oh,
from
and she
LA.
stayed with you in going back to Baltimore. She said okay to that.
I took her out. I took the Angelino out and put her in the freezing cold.
Wow.
Yeah.
She can't be happy.
I'm telling you, having a kid fucking changes everything.
Changes the game?
Yeah, it's like and like what you think you need to do versus what really has to happen. And
Yeah.
like we were like, oh, we're not gonna leave LA, and then like mom,
Yeah.
Right.
what time can we like move back?
Yeah.
yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Well, especially with your schedule and you being on the road,
Yeah.
it makes it there's a big shift in the dynamic.
Yeah.
you know?
So now it's like I'm like I guess bi-coastal comedian. Like we're just we're back here like 4 or 5 times a year, especially with me with shows and and so just a good base at this point for us. And also it's so I just did a 4-city tour on the East Coast, and you can cover a lot of ground. Like I started in Maryland the tour and ended up in Brooklyn. So you can get everywhere within 3 hours.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's kind of a nice thing. I did a show the other night in San Luis Obispo. I'm driving 3 hours
Just to
just
get,
within the
Wow.
state.
Yeah, bro.
Just to get to
so-
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
seriously.
And now and that was in traffic.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it can take us 3 hours to get to freaking Los Angeles if traffic's
yeah.
horrible.
For
Oh,
sure.
it's nuts. And because you guys are all in OC, right?
Yeah.
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 It's crazy.
I'm going to Los Angeles tomorrow night.
for what?
A Laker game.
Birthday Laker game?
Birthday Laker game.
I
Yeah.
figured as
Nice.
much.
It was the hooker that you mentioned a little bit ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Keep that under wraps. Who's playing?
Lakers versus the Atlanta Hawks.
Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean it's not the greatest
Atlanta?
team, but
I don't even know they had a fucking team still.
the Atlanta Hawks.
That's
yeah,
how bad they
that's- Yeah.
So
not
you're
bad,
going
yeah.
for your birthday to Atlanta. That's not. That's
I was
sorry.
trying to. We have season seats, and I meant to grab the New Year's Eve game,
That's there we go. Now it's coming out. I
New
figured there
Year's
was a
Eve game.
clusterfuck here.
and I forgot to take the tickets.
Yes, I knew it because
Oh,
there's no way
man.
he'd go to Atlanta. He just wouldn't do it.
No, but it's good. It's
Yeah.
Friday night.
I'm not a huge basketball fan.
No?
Football and baseball.
You know what it is? He gets to go with his wife. He's got a little bit of hand candy. He gets to walk around. You know what I mean? She makes him feel.
It's a whole family thing. We got 6 seats.
Stanley's got a
My
good-looking
kids go.
family.
Yeah.
He gets to walk around, show off a little bit. He makes him feel good. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just going for the
The aesthetics.
the aesthetics.
Yeah.
I
For
get
the,
it.
for the gram. I just go for the
You're
gram.
doing it for the gram.
yeah,
Yeah.
just for the gram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a vlog now too, so it's gonna be. He's
Oh, yeah, I'm vlogging this
he's
whole
vlogging
damn thing,
on the
bro.
way there. He's vlogging on the way back.
I'm
He's
vlogging inside.
vlogging inside. So he's got a plan.
He's
here,
vlogging everywhere.
Yeah.
He's vlogging like you wouldn't
Yeah.
believe.
How long are you in town
Bro.
for?
That's funny.
Heading back tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I've been here a week. 10 days now. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How's that being on the road now that you have a little one?
I'm actually sleeping right now. My eyes are taped open. Yeah. No, it's having a kid is like
It's incredible.
it's incredible. It's also insanity at the same time.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let's do it quietly. Who do you miss more, your wife or the kid?
I miss my mother not being able to help us
Damn
right
it,
now.
I knew you'd go there, you son of a bitch. Good
Smart.
answer though, because
Smart.
his mother's gonna listen to this stuff and she's gonna say, "Honey, you did a good job."
Yeah, because
Yeah.
normally I really nail her on the stage. And
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
You always
mom.
gotta go mom first.
Oh yeah, I think. And she says, Jason, why would you say that about me? I can't believe you said that. I'm like, Ma, listen, it's the highest form of flattery.
Highest form of
You
flattery,
know?
yeah.
But she, sometimes don't come to the show.
Yeah.
I always start it's gonna hurt you if you don't come because like I'm just messing around, just having fun. But she takes it a little bit
Yeah, for sure.
sometimes. Yeah. But I know she wants to support. But
Good for her for supporting you.
yeah.
Because it's not, you know what I'm saying? They'd rather you do something else, I'm sure, at the beginning until you found your passion and fell in love with it. You
Right.
know how it is to be.
Yeah, become a doctor, a
This is
lawyer,
what I'm
Jason.
saying,
Yeah.
bro. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I didn't, but
Yeah.
but I went a whole different path.
Whole different
Yeah.
path.
Also, like I think a lot of comedians. I think we also deal with a lot of depression, and anxiety, and it's a way. For me specifically, it's been so healing. You know, even the nights that you do not hit the way you
Yeah.
wanted to, you still know that you're going out there and doing what you love.
Yeah.
And like I always say, like if I can say now that if I'm on my deathbed, I'm not going to regret. I'm not going to regret it because I no matter what, like I went for this.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that sticks with me. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That like
And the truth is this, when you're laughing, you're laughing. You're not thinking about anything bad. You're not thinking about anything neutral. You're just gut laughing. There's nothing but that laughter and pure joy. So you're giving to people what they can't give themselves. Like people can't get that gut-wrenching laugh every now and then. It doesn't happen often. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I the last comedy show I went to was about like a year ago. I went, Donna and I went,
Yeah.
and saw Theo Vaughn in Vegas,
Laugh.
and I literally he had me cracking up
This is what
because
I'm saying.
because like he went after everybody,
Yes.
and I was like. And the part that was cracking me up is people got up because they were pissed off, right? That of the shit he was saying. And he just,
That's hilarious.
like,
is
why
what
would
I
you
mean.
go to Theo Vaughn?
Yeah.
Like, he's not somebody that you go to
If you're delicate.
if you're delicate.
Fuck no.
right.
Because he's coming after everybody.
Everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got and also if you sit in the front row, just know
You're
you know,
fucked.
You're in trouble.
See, I don't mind doing that at like the improv here or something, but I'm not sure at a show like that big if I want to sit in the front row.
I mean, how big are your balls, man? That's really
Yeah, exactly.
it comes
Like
down
how
to.
much? Yeah, how
I
much?
mean, I
you need
take-
And how much do you want to drink? Yeah.
I've taken a lot of steroids in my life. My balls aren't that big.
Oh well, yeah. That's the thing, right? That's what happens.
They're
Right?
delicate though. They're delicate.
They're always delicate.
You know?
Always delicate. Yeah, yeah. I'm doing the TRT thing now. I don't
Oh,
know.
good.
Yeah.
You got work.
Well, I'll let you know in 6 months how that.
There you go. There you go.
Play Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
Making people laugh. I mean, that's a big deal, man.
Well, I think
You're
that's
making
why
people have taken out of their funk.
I know, but that's why I think comedians in general, it's a slippery slope because there's nothing like it. So when you're on, that's why like it's a lot of them do deal with like depression and they have substance abuse issues or past trauma and stuff like that. So that's what gets them into comedy in the first place. But there's nothing better than getting on stage because for that 20 minutes, for that 7 minutes, for that 35 minutes, however long you are, you're not thinking about how miserable you are in your own state, like whether it's depression or whatever else is going on.
Yeah.
But the moment that you get off the stage,
The high is gone. You're right. It's a
Yes.
high, then the down. You got to get used
so
to that
it's
shit too.
very difficult
Smart. I agree with
to
what you're saying.
navigate, and there's
Yeah.
nothing like it. That's why it's like it's so difficult to manage because of that, and nothing else will give it to you.
You nailed it. Actually, wow. You do comedy on the side or what? Yeah, that's impressive.
Live audience.
No, I know. Well, yeah.
So it's the same high.
Same high. I know. You can't even imagine. I mean, you're doing on that high of a level.
But no, same thing though.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else that can relate to something like of that magnitude.
Yeah, no,
You
for
know?
sure. Yeah, no, I can only imagine. And yeah, it's the same kind of thing. And even when you're going on tour, it's like you're on such a high. As I'm sure
Right.
you with wrestling, I'm
Sure.
sure you're like, and you come back, and it's like, but you're back to reality, and it's things settle in, and like it's like okay, all right, changing diapers and
Totally.
and chores and everything like that. But and then you're like, all right, we gotta go back on tour.
Right,
now.
right.
Yeah, but what gives me a lot of I mean, coming home to seeing your kids smile at you, it's like it's the most incredible thing. It's like my dog will always come back and smile at me. I don't know how long it's gonna last with my kid, but right now when I come home and he's just got the biggest smile on his face, he's just happy to see me. So I could have the shittiest day. I could be as depressed as I want, but when I just having my kid be happy, just sitting with him, that's like the best thing in the world. You know what I mean? Except if he takes a big shit in his diaper. You know what I mean?
Poopies?
It's no fun. Yeah.
Did you struggle with depression early on in your age?
Yeah, I think I've struggled with depression like my whole life,
Yeah.
really. Yeah, and dealt with anxiety. Yeah, for sure. And I never really sought therapy till later on in life. But now I see a therapist. And it's super helpful for me. I've had a lot of trauma the last few years for sure. A lot of stuff that we've dealt with, and especially with my wife's mental health in a lot of ways. And my wife had a really tough pregnancy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I wasn't even sure if my kid was going to make it. Yeah. So he's like a real miracle,
Wow.
and so I'm so grateful for everything we have now with the where it's at, and everything happens. Nothing's a coincidence in life. Everything happens
Sure.
for a reason. But there's no playbook. Also for with my wife, I didn't know nothing about obsessive compulsive disorder when I met my wife.
Yeah.
Now I could teach a clinic on it.
Sure.
And it's some people have the OCD where it's just like Jeremy. To hers is more rampant thoughts that don't stop, and it's really interesting. Yeah, and so and then she found out she had about bipolar during the pregnancy. So
she was diagnosed with that during.
yeah, so we
Oh,
so we learned a lot. I learned
Yeah, and what's worse is the OCD with those thoughts. It's not good. Like, if it was good thoughts, like rainbows and sunshines being one thing, but it's fucking bad thoughts.
It's like people who have OCD would never in a million years act on their thoughts, and that's what makes it so tough for them.
Yes,
Is that
there you go.
because it's the thoughts they don't stop and they keep going back, and it's called a doubter's disease because it makes you
Yes.
think that you're gonna
Boom.
and it's debilitating. And I've been to these OCD conferences with
nightmare.
her, and oh my god, there's a whole world of people have people have tried to do themselves in because they can't they think they're going crazy.
Yeah.
And thank God there's there's help out there, but people, when it first happens to people from I listen to their stories, they don't want to be a burden on anybody, and so I get a little more sensitive now when I hear people oh, I'm so OCD. No, you're not. Like you're not so
Oh, I
OCD.
see what you're saying.
Like,
I'm saying.
and I didn't. I would have never thought
agree,
that.
bro.
What's that?
I agree with
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. Because
They're picking or doing this. That's whatever. Fuck.
yeah, trust like. It's a very loose term we use in society,
Yes.
and I would, and like before I knew so much about it and saw how much it impacted her life and how much she struggled with it, I would have always said, yeah, I probably would say I'm so OCD, but now I'm like really cognizant of it. I'm like, yeah, because like if you're diagnosed with it, and and I think the only thing I knew about OCD was the movie with Jack Nicholson years ago and Helen Hunt, Can't Hardly Wait. I don't know if you guys remember that movie, but he played a guy at a restaurant and he had OCD.
Yeah.
And
She helped him.
And she helped him.
She helped him.
Yeah.
He lived in a nice apartment with the guy across the street, across the hall with
Yes.
the dog.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
Great movie.
Yeah,
Great
that's all I
movie.
knew about
He
it.
tried to kill the dog, but ended up being friends with the dog in the end.
Yes, that was it. Yeah.
And took the dog over. Great movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a writer, famous writer.
Yep.
Jack.
Yep. In the movie. Yeah.
the movie, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's So.
Right.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
So.
I don't think I've.
Yeah.
Or if
Oh,
I did.
sorry.
Or maybe we're just showing it.
I
on
wanna
age, I
see
don't
it.
know. Yeah. One of the
No, I'm old.
Yeah, I want to see it. But no, you're right. I think it is something. Well, I think especially that one is difficult for anybody to understand because it's kind of like drugs and alcohol. You can't see it. You can't see the disease because the disease is in the thought, is in the brain.
Yes.
So it's like very difficult for people to wrap their head around, just as it is with people struggling with substance or alcohol as well, because you cannot specifically see like cancer. You can diagnose that, something like OCD, especially when it's like the obsession of those kind of the doubts or the negative thoughts on such a high scale. It's hard for another human to kind of understand.
Yeah.
To a degree,
It's very hard for somebody to understand, like, unless you like live through, your
Right.
partner has it or you live through it, and and it's no different than somebody having diabetes or some kind of other ailment or, it's just mental health. We don't see it the same way we do physical health. So yeah, it's brought a lot of, I do an OCD walk every year with her and, really try to do what I can to support it. And
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's one of the things though, that with this podcast that we want to break that stigma, that like with mental health issues and substance abuse, because there's no shame in having any of these diagnoses.
No.
Like none whatsoever. The only shame that we have is when we don't ask for help.
Exactly. Yeah.
And people don't ask for help because it's stigmatized, right? So the more we can talk about it and the more people can start to see that, like, there's so many other people out there that suffer with issues, mental health issues. And we're really big on it because, we suffer from either substance use disorders or, other mental health issues. Sorry.
700,000 people, men, a year commit suicide due to mental health.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're not counting. That's the world.
That's just men.
That's just men. 300,000 in the States from fentanyl poisoning. That's 1 million people. They're all suffering from mental
then
health.
let's also take our veterans.
This is what I'm saying.
We lose more veterans.
22 a day.
22 a day. So you're talking 2, 3, 4 million people committing suicide or dying from fentanyl poisoning in this world every fucking
Or
year.
mental health.
Or mental health.
issues.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes,
Which
right.
is extremely sad because number one is because it is so stigmatized and then I also think that there's the stigma with men as well of like, not wanting to talk about anything that's going on within themselves. But that help is available.
Yeah.
Like help is out there. No one is alone at all. Like that's why this podcast is so important, is because we shoot the shit and joke a lot as well. But also on the same tip is that there's a lot of people that are hurting and struggling and think that they're the only ones. And they're not.
Exactly.
Like just listening to your story, the fact that it's your wife, so that's your partner, is really important as well because you're having to walk through it too. Like you learned something that was totally not even on the realm of understanding until you got together with your now wife.
Yeah.
And so now you're able to use your voice, use your platform, and kind of talk about something that is difficult for people because, like you said, she didn't want to even talk about it because she thought that she was going to be a burden to others.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I remember when we first started dating, she was like, I have this thing called OCD. And I was like, so what? You know what I mean? But But then, it's just about, you got to throw yourselves in. I think to be the best partner you can be for your best father, you've got to educate yourself on whatever they're dealing with and try to really understand and take yourself from out of your own shoes and put yourself in theirs. So I always try to do that. And you're right. And we have a huge mental health crisis in this country.
Yeah.
And especially, and also in comedy, I mean, there's a lot of mental health, issues. And so it's, and a lot of people that go up and do comedy are dealing with stuff, and we go up there to try to make people laugh.
This is what I'm saying. When you're going to the movies, you're going to comedy, you're going to be a singer, you're running. That's just the bottom line. You're looking at, and if you talk to anyone who's writing music or playing songs or singing or in comedy, why? Oh, well, it made me feel better.
Are you running, or
No,
or,
they're
or are
looking
you
for solutions.
or are you actually dealing with it in the way
Yes,
that is?
that's what I meant.
For the most part, I feel like you writing it, you speaking it. That's very healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all it is healthy, but it's also like a lot of this industry can be a real mind fuck.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a very competitive industry.
Yeah.
But and you have to learn to you have to learn to be like, don't worry about only worry about your journey. Don't worry about other people's journey. If you worry about other people's journey, you're going to get caught up in that. You're going to be like, oh, why are they doing this and I'm not doing that? How did they get that and I didn't get that? That's a very unhealthy way of thinking.
Yeah.
That is going to deteriorate you. That's going to hold you back. What you have to do is look at, focus on your own wins. Also focus on your losses and why they were a loss and how to get back and how to reclaim a win from that. But and you have to keep moving the chains and moving forward. But if you just can take yourself out of don't look at social media 20 times a day and look at what all your peers are doing. And it goes for a lot of things in entertainment, don't look at what your peers are doing. Focus on yourself, your own growth. Because there's a piece of comedy for everybody.
Yeah.
And there's something for everybody out there. It's all about how you find your tribe that you roll with, how you find the audience that's going to want to watch you. Because there's going to be some people, comedy is subjective. There's going to be somebody that thinks you're terrible, but somebody might think you're the funniest comedian they've ever seen in their life.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. So don't let it get to you, even though when it gets to you, you just keep moving, and that's the only way you can stay stabilized and try to keep normalcy to your life as much as possible. Keep things as simplified because this game is complicated. And there's no playbook. So, that's all I can really think about, in terms of just be the best version of you, and people are going to perceive the best version of you because they are picking that up off of your personality, off of what you're showcasing to them. Yeah,
Your authentic self.
your authenticity.
I think it's difficult, especially with this day and age, is because it's very easy to feel, especially if you're in kind of that realm of depression or not feeling the best about yourself. We have our devices. Everyone's addicted to them, right? And so you can pick it up and then you can fall down the rabbit hole of comparison, whether it's in your exact same field, whether it's comedy, entertainment, or even in the business world or YouTube or whatever it may be, because there's so many different elements. And once you start going down that rabbit hole, it's a disaster and it's not realistic. As we all know, social media is an amazing tool. The con is that it's a highlight reel on every single person's life.
Yeah.
Every individual out here, you know?
Right.
It's definitely, you have to keep things in perspective as well, and understanding all you have control over is yourself.
That's it.
Not the other guy.
That's it. And it's so easy to look at someone on social
for
and be
sure.
like, oh, they're killing it. That person's life
They're a
is
piece
crazy.
of shit. Why are they killing it? Why did they get that?
Yeah, fuck that motherfucker. No, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Yeah. I could do that better.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But
But that's just life.
that's life.
That's life.
That's life.
And it's life isn't fair.
Yeah.
So
How come they are killing it? How come they're killing it?
right. I don't know. There's probably multiple reasons.
Or are they killing it? 'Cause
Totally.
social
You're
media
right.
is also a highlight reel.
You can you can mask a lot of stuff on
Fuck
social
yeah,
media.
you can.
But somebody might be like, but you also have no idea what someone is going through.
No, that's
Yeah.
the thing is
Like-
because think about this. On the flip side, how many times have we all of a sudden turned on the news, read an article, or seen a death of somebody that we thought was totally okay?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
A ton.
Right.
So like that is proof in the pudding of itself that like, you know, we're all really good actors. Like
Yeah.
all of us are. And that's what like you're trying to put your best foot forward. So it's like going what you're saying. Are they really killing it? Maybe, maybe not. You know, unless you're looking at like their actual day-to-day life, who their partner is, how they're, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
what is killing it? Is it financial? So it's like we need to stop because our imagination is what's killing us.
Yeah. Also, like, people just want to like, people at this point are just trying to live paycheck. A lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck right
totally.
now. Like, how am I gonna like afford groceries next week, or how am I
sure.
gonna pay the rent? You know, cost of living is like 40% higher than what it
Yeah.
was like since like I don't know if that's the right statistic, but I know it's crazy. So it's like now at this point, it's like, and you start looking at social media, and you're like,
Sure.
oh, that person, and then people get angry, they get upset, and they get pissed. But like,
How is that
funny.
guy flying in a private jet and
Yeah.
driving those Lamborghinis around?
yeah,
Uh,
They're rented
And
they're
then
not his.
and then you find out that they're actually not flying in
Right.
private jets.
Yeah.
They're just going to that little place in Long Beach down here where they where you
sure.
you can look like you're flying in a private
which
jet.
is wild.
Yeah.
That was
oh yeah, the
Like,
people
what?
like
That's
there's studios,
insane.
there's studios,
Yes.
people will like
Yes.
put themselves in private jets, you know.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
Donald Trump, if you're listening, I will take a trip to Mar-a-Lago if you ever let me out over there. But beyond that,
I will too. But yeah,
Yeah.
a studio.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
yeah, it's insane that people will put themselves in a private jet or like balling out in a green screen behind them or something like that. I'm
That's
like, dude,
wild,
you're in a studio.
guys.
You're in a studio apartment right now.
Yeah.
Like, and you have 3 roommates. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, yeah. But if that makes you feel better,
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
it's nuts. Yeah, yeah. And a lot of times people like think when they see a comedian on stage or like, oh, that person's that must be all, you know, or even like on TV
Sure,
or well, that
totally.
person's life. But like, dude, that's entertainment. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when we're off, like we're regular people. You know, and it's no different than anybody else. But you know, people get hyped, people get excited, and just live your life. Focus, like I said, focus on your journey, and you're gonna be all right.
No, for sure. What do you do on a day-to-day basis to maintain your mental health?
Well, start, therapy. That was like,
Yeah.
I think that's a huge thing. You mentioned like guys, how we like oftentimes repress our feelings
Sure.
a lot. I think there's so much that's so unhealthy. And I was like that for so long. And I was a very private person. It's also why I didn't even want to do comedy because like comedy, the best comedy comes from vulnerability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to like share that, I don't, but going to therapy has definitely started to help me, especially for trauma and for depression and all that stuff. Like I said, I'm trying to get back in the gym now, all those things. So you have, I have my friends, we have a group text. We'll always talk about like, they're very, it's a fitness oriented text, but we try to keep each other accountable. I'm the worst at it right now. But 2 of my friends have been doing this 75 hard
Oh
thing.
yeah, Andy Frisella's thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's helped them like so much, and they'll like take a break from it and do it again, but that teaches a lot of discipline. And I can tell you, my mental health has like taken a hit also over the last few years. So now it's like, how am I going to, like, even specifically this year, like how am I going to reclaim that part of, and so because your mental health has so much to do with your physical health.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And people don't realize like the stress that you go through,
sure.
how much that affects your body, and so it all works together. And like your gut is like your second brain too.
Yeah.
So what you feed it is gonna affect. It's all working together. So yeah, I think those are like two things like right now. Just getting out and walking a lot even too. even though it's cold, I'll just put on layers.
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
take my dog for. I have a 72-pound golden doodle, so he's a big boy. He needs a lot of
Yeah,
exercise.
yeah.
So
One of our staff members just got a golden doodle puppy.
Oh, is
There-
that what it is?
Yeah, it's a golden doodle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like literally one of the smartest dogs.
it's like they're humans.
yeah,
I'm like,
it's crazy.
yeah. When I watch football on Sundays, he's sitting next to me watching
the
with me,
game.
and I'm like, are you all right, dude?
You got to
Hilarious.
you got to bet on this one, buddy.
yeah. Are we doing a parlay today or what? yeah. Yeah, and I think and like your physical health is if you lack on that as you get older, your mental health's going to decline too. So you just and then also losing in fantasy football in the championship is not fun either. So no, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where your mind is everything. If you don't have a strong mind, I feel like it really does kind of trickle into everything else. And as we all know, like, the boys are tired of me saying it, but health is wealth. If you don't have your health, you have nothing.
I never once said
Yeah.
I was tired of her.
Huh?
There's other things that she says that I'm tired
Kinda
about. If you're
bored.
that one,
agree with
that
you.
one.
You like
I-
health
I-
as well?
I like
You
that
like
one.
I
that
kind of
one?
like that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Oh,
I got
wow.
health
Pin
is
that,
wealth is a great
Emily.
one. Yeah. My grandfather used to always tell me, see what one of my grandfathers was a professional baseball player. The other one
wow.
was a Holocaust. He was a Holocaust
Oh,
survivor.
wow.
So I learned a lot from them. My grandfather lost everything. He's a Holocaust survivor, and then got in the grocery business and became an entrepreneur. And my other grandfather was a baseball player, professional baseball player, signed a 5-year major league deal with the Philadelphia Athletics at the time, and blew out his knee, and that was it. And then to restart his life. But he always told me that life is a series of adjustments, and that was what I always lived by. So I got it tattooed on my arm
wow.
because I live by it. I look at it all the time. I also told my chiropractor that. And he asked if he could take it and put it on the social media page. Yeah. but no, it's I live by that. I live by that quote every day. So health is wealth too. I use that a lot. So health is wealth, and life is a series of adjustments.
I like that a lot because I kind of have a similar thing. Like you got in your keys to success, you got to be willing to pivot. You got to be. And the pivot just means to adjust, right? You gotta make an adjustment.
Yep.
And because sometimes you're headed this way, and a big freaking roadblock or rock falls off the cliff and lands right here.
Isn't it weird that I find pivot a sexy word?
Pivot.
Yeah.
I don't see it, but yeah. Why don't you elaborate on why it seems sexy to us?
Well, here's why. Because you're going on the wrong road. You go pivot. It's like one of those quick things. Like pivot. You know what I mean? It's like, do it now. It's hot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the feeling I get from pivot. So yeah, let's do it. Let's pivot.
Yeah,
That's all.
if I was on Jeopardy, I would think, what is sexy for 500? What is a pivot for 500? What is pivot for 500? Wasn't on my bucket list for 2025.
You wouldn't be. Yeah.
You wouldn't be sexy.
You wouldn't be.
I like the word though. I
What
like the
is-
word.
what
I
is
really like
pivot?
The word. But you do mention pivot lots of times, and it's similar to what he said.
It is. No, it's
Yeah.
the exact same thing.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
like it. I really like it because I think that, you have to make constant adjustments
Have to.
as you're going down this wonderful road of life, and building whatever success looks like for you, and not for everybody. Sometimes, social media skews what success looks like. Everybody thinks success is, a Lamborghini and private jet, and sure, that can be success, part of success, but it doesn't have to be that at all.
100%. Yeah. How we define success can come in so many different ways.
And it changes when you get older.
It does. It does.
I mean, don't get
That's
me
just-
wrong. I still love to have. I still love to have a Lamborghini and the private jets. The best I get to private jet is Jet Suite X from here to Vegas.
The best I have for a private jet is that studio I rented out last week.
But it looked good,
But it looked fantastic, I have to tell you.
and those $100 bills weren't real. We gotta give you a chance though, an opportunity, because I'm not gonna lie to you. We will cut a reel of your best Donald Trump impression, and I guarantee you that his social media guy will at least see it. I don't know for sure that
We'll post it, but
He'll
post it.
Yeah, Alex will see it though.
He'll see it.
Alex will watch it.
Yeah.
He might not show it to
No,
to
it's
the
funny
Donald,
though.
but he might.
He might.
I'm sure Donald probably might already saw one of his.
Yeah.
Huh? Did
never know.
Donald Trump's probably already seen one of yours?
Yeah.
I don't know. I do a lot of politicians. Though I do.
Who else do I like a lot?
I do Clinton a lot, and I do George Bush, and I do.
Oh my
Bush
God.
is
I do
horrible.
Mitch McConnell.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What? You just freeze on?
Yeah, I have a bit where I do imagine if Mitch
He pees
McConnell.
himself.
Yeah, he'll tell you.
Freezes and pees himself.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I do a bit where Mitch
You put a
McConnell.
bottle of water in your pants. And just fucking-
Yeah, I hook the catheter up on stage.
God.
No, but I do a whole thing where if Mitch McConnell got pulled over for speeding, trying to get out of the ticket, and I just freeze up on stage. And I'll do it. Yes, sir, you were speeding. How fast? Very fast. Thank you. Yeah.
I've never seen such a big double chin as Mitch McConnell.
Oh my
has.
God, he's a real life turtle.
Yeah.
This is. Yeah. If it was a marathon, it would take 30 years to get done. You know.
He's one of the reasons why we need term limits, though. Like,
Yeah, I know.
at some point, man.
Trump's like going to be he's 80, isn't he?
He's
Joe.
he's the same. I think he's the same age as Joe was when Joe went into office.
Yeah, but Joe had dementia going. They,
Yeah,
they just didn't tell us.
They didn't.
That's their only
They
problem.
did.
Yeah.
Well,
Come on, pal.
They did, but
Yeah.
they didn't. They did, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
They were telling us the whole time. Joe can't even hold a sentence.
Yeah, that's what we call in comedy misdirect. Yeah. Yeah.
So in comedy, you good to make fun of both sides of the political spectrum,
Yeah.
or it just depends on where you are.
No, I just make fun on one side. No, I'm just kidding. I'm definitely more on the conservative side, but I play with both. You know, with everybody. You know, and yeah, it's
I mean, I pretty much only talk shit about the conservative side because I'm conservative, and I don't feel that I'm justified to really talk too much crap about the other side because then I'm just talking crap about them.
yeah. No, I don't. In real life, I don't talk to. I don't even especially in Los Angeles. I don't want anybody to throw rocks at me.
Oh yeah, they will
Oh
too.
my
Jeez,
Yeah.
they'll freaking key your car, dude. Put rocks through the window.
Yeah.
Emily's thinking about it right now.
Yeah, and I'm a Jewish Republican, so I'm really screwed. You know? So that's it. So
That's rare. But you guys came out pretty good this last election. It was better, right, Shane?
oh yeah, with Trump.
Yeah, with Trump.
Oh yeah. It's like
Hell yeah.
yeah.
You kidding me,
What?
bro?
Yeah.
Doing another 4 years of shite? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a
No, I know.
red-blooded
Look,
American
I know
Republican.
what you.
I don't
I know
care.
what you are, but you also are part of the Jewish community.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something. Any of those Jews that voted for that other side, big mistake.
Huge mistake.
Big mistake. I'm going to run it down your mouth. If I see you in public and I see you wearing blue, I'm going to let you know you fucked up. Okay? That's just the bottom line.
Yeah, right.
Shit.
Shane said so.
There you
yeah.
go.
But I know.
No, I don't talk to those Jewish people, bro.
No, anything goes wrong.
No.
Anything wrong with the Jews? If Kamala's president, she'd just be like,
Right?
You
No.
know what I mean? Like,
Liberal.
just cackling the whole time. Yeah.
Morally superior. There's no conversation.
Can you do a Kamala impression?
Oh come on, it's just that cat.
Beat
Just
your
the
head
cat.
Yeah,
against
you ever
the
heard of
wall.
hyena?
there you go. You got me on a rant. Cut that. Cut all of it.
It's like just a cackling hyena all day. I mean, yeah, word salad and the hyena laughing is pretty much
Poor
Kamala Harris.
But I hear she might be taking over California. That's the word on the street.
And she probably will.
Yeah, she could easily win California.
She could win California.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, let's not end on that note.
Yeah.
No,
No,
definitely not.
Let's not end on that though. We gotta go for
do you
another
have
few
do you have
seconds.
tour any dates
Let's
coming
keep
up?
going. Just keep going.
Stop. Do you have any dates coming up?
I do. I'll be in I've got a show in Baltimore coming up, and then I've got a whole East Coast tour that it's in the works right now.
Awesome.
And then I have some TV stuff that's coming up too. I can't talk too much about it, but
That's good. Good for you, bro.
yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. And Yeah, that's
Now, no offense. I'm going to ask you a question. No offense. Not that you're not.
How is that? How
like,
do you?
what's the
How?
worst way to phrase
I just be like,
anything?
fuck you. Don't ask me
Yeah.
the question.
Then you know what?
if
I'm
there's
going to
offense.
Now I already know I'm
Yeah,
I might
exactly.
fucking offend you
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, you'd be like,
Here I go.
my
I'm going to
God.
ask you
No
something.
offense.
you sound like Jesse Ventura.
What I'm wondering
Yeah,
is
yeah.
this: you have somebody in LA that we all know that say has 3, 4, 5 million followers. That's a comedian that's gone through a struggle that we could put in the seat. Like, do you have anyone we could
That's really what he fucking is asking.
grab onto?
I don't want to know the answer to that.
Yeah,
question.
don't even.
What? I was just asking.
He's like, Jason, the only reason we hand you on today, we
Yeah,
just wanted to
like-
get connected to
hell's
the
your
LA
problem?
comedy
We're,
scene.
We're
Yeah.
Jewish. He's Jewish. Jewish people work with each other. This is what we do. We monopolize.
Do you know? Do you know
Yeah,
like?
you can totally like text him that.
Now-
Why? Let's just put him on the spot.
Yeah.
Joke.
Before I get there, do you say why after I ask you this question? Okay. Why do Jewish men have short necks?
Why?
Why?
I don't know.
I like that. It's
You
true.
can use it. You can.
I
use
don't
it.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
have a
I-
long neck for a Jewish
know.
guy.
I have some people for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured you would.
Yeah.
I figured.
Got some people on
Yeah.
the Rolodex
Yeah.
if
I
you want.
figured.
Yeah. You want a name drop right now?
No, don't.
Because I really don't want to do that. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. I don't want the name.
I didn't know where he was going with
I
this.
Who
figured-
one.
knows? We don't either.
That's it.
He's a
But
wild card.
He's our wild card, and
We never know.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Ever.
Simply unpredictable.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
It's you.
I mean, the other day when he was on vacation for like 10 days. This was just literally 2 days ago. Monday, I think it was. He came back to work. We had our first podcast in 10 days. He gets on the podcast. The guest is talking, blah, blah, blah. We're asking some questions. And then all of a sudden, he just starts piping in on stuff that had nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Zero.
And like, I'm looking at the guest and
Zero.
So funny.
I'm like, she's like, and I'm like, I have no idea where that came
None.
from. Like left fucking field.
Like she's like pouring her heart out.
Yeah.
Totally.
And he's
And then
like,
he's like,
he's
usually
like,
what
you like going
and then
bowling?
He's like, you know what? 70% of all Americans are overweight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to just call Shane like derail city.
That's hilarious.
That's legit. That's
I was
legit,
like,
yeah.
and then, like, I feel like this lady doesn't even like know us either because like if you watch us, you know that Shane's like the wild card. If
Yeah.
people like really follow us, they know like
And it depends on the day and
my
the
God.
time.
I
Like,
could see him being like someone just pouring her out. Anybody seen Beetlejuice?
yeah,
Oh,
something like
yeah.
that.
No, he does do that,
Something
for
like
sure.
that. Something like that.
Yes.
Or if somebody's starting to like cry.
oh yeah, he fucks it up all the time.
He's like, oh, what's going on over there,
Yeah.
Emily?
so it's like literally like a best vulnerable possible moment.
And
Yeah.
the- and
So-
like,
Derailed.
like
you
a-
have ADHD like me then.
Little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
Little
yeah.
bit.
We all, I think we're born with that.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, what'd you say?
And they throw fire on it. Oh, good. That was a good laugh at the end there.
But good for
Right?
you.
Cheeks are so
Good for
Thank
you
Thank
for all of the kind of putting aside all the, I guess, what your parents wanted you to do, and you going with what you actually wanted to do.
Yeah, in your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. My dad's like my biggest fan now. It's
Well,
hilarious.
good for
Oh,
you.
that's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Like, great job, Jace. When are you going? Oh, yeah, yeah. Who you open up for tonight? Yeah, that's great. And then, yeah. He's like, also, I returned something at Costco, lady. Want to come with me? Yeah.
I
Yeah,
actually have one last question because this has happened a few times when I have gone to, like a pretty decent size comedy show. The opener was better than the actual headliner. Have you ever showed up your headliner?
It depends who you're working with. Sometimes the headliner will tell you, hey, don't whatever you do, don't outshine me. You know, if I ever headline, I'll be like, just go crush it. But
yeah, I feel like
yeah.
that's fucked up.
yeah, there's been I don't think it's like ever like outshined the headliner, but like kept pace. You know what I mean? You always want to pay respect to the who.
Yeah,
so but you just go do your best. You just go crush it. But you should never water yourself down.
Because the guy
Yeah.
thinks he's got a name. I'm gonna tell you who it was, just because I really don't give a fuck. I don't remember who the opener was, but it was Dane Cook, who was the headliner in Vegas.
Oh
and
really? He wasn't good.
No, and I was like, I was rolling so hard at the opener, and I was like, if
Wait, who's
it was this bald guy, and I think it might have been so funny to me because like I was 40, like almost 40 at the time, and he was doing like these 40-year-old jokes about like having sex and getting a leg cramp and all, all this shit. And I was like,
You're like,
I was like, I was laughing so hard, like I could relate.
God.
That is
You know?
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That could be why you thought he was like extra.
But everybody was cracking
Dying.
up, and I was thinking to myself, Dane Cook is gonna. This was so funny. Dane's gonna be fun, and I didn't even laugh. I didn't even laugh at Dane Cook.
Yeah, neither has anybody. No, I'm just kidding. Dane's good. I think for me also, I do so many different impressions on stage that it's kind of intertwined with my act at the same time.
Oh yeah.
So it kind of like it's a great icebreaker too for everybody
Sure.
coming out and yeah, and so it's not about like he's yawning while I'm talking.
I know. It's
That's
unreal.
another-
All right, next. What do you want me to do? Gilbert Gottfried
It's
for you
90
right now?
minutes.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fading. It's 90 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm fading.
I'm just gonna do-
fading, bro.
Yeah, want me to just give you a roller coaster of impressions right now and wake you up? Jeez,
He
yeah,
is
yeah.
literally unbelievable. You're the fact that
Here, do you want a pillow? Here.
the fact that he's even awake is solid because everybody else will walk out of here and be like, I don't think he listened at all.
He's like, I didn't.
yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
I don't even know who's on the podcast right now.
Believe me.
Jeez.
Wow.
yeah,
Unbelievable.
yeah. So yeah, it's hilarious.
We're gonna have to come next time you're doing a show. We're all gonna have to
100%.
come. And I'm-
100%.
And then I'm sitting front row. We
Yeah,
all
we all
will.
All of us.
Yeah.
All of us.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going after this guy.
Well,
Yeah,
I love it.
please.
Yeah,
Please.
Fuck him up.
I love getting heckled.
Yeah.
And I'll play into
Totally.
it, bro.
I know you will.
I'll play right into
I
it.
don't- I
No.
don't-
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna have security to tell you to like
Shut
stop
the fuck
talking
up.
back.
No, I'm going to pretend I'm mentally. Hey, why are you making fun of me?
Sir,
What? Don't make fun of me. I'm mentally
hey,
retarded.
get this guy out of here real quick.
That's
Security.
what I would do.
Yeah.
Because once you do that, then they all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? You think you're mental. I'll just play it all night.
Yeah.
Hey, Natalie.
Can I heckle you?
I even got the limp. I
Can I
even
ca-
got the mental limp.
I want to heckle
yeah.
you. I want to heckle
Who
him.
are
I want to
you?
heckle him as somebody though. I want to mess with him as an impersonation. I'm not gonna even heckle you as myself.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, me too. That'll be fun.
You got it. Done deal.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it, brother.
much.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
For coming in.
God,
Yeah,
thanks
it
for
was
having
nice.
me. It was
Yeah.
Nice.
a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.